listening to Over the Oxer podcast with Tracy Cole for all things to do with the mind for equestrians. I'm really delighted this week to welcome Sarah Rao onto the podcast. Sarah is a really fabulous horsewoman, but she's also known as the Chinese Dressage Girl. She's one of the most inspiring riders and influencers in China and also in the UK. She's represented China numerous times and made history with the first double international win for China. She's a youth ambassador of an FEI charity programme. She's based in Cheshire with Sarah Higgins. So warm welcome, Sarah.
No.
So we're going to ask you lots of questions because not only are you a rider, but we're also going to mention that drawing behind you, which is just fabulous. So let's start at the beginning. Tell me a little bit about your childhood in China and how horses came into your life.
So that's a very interesting one because I grew up in a perfectly normal, non-horsey family. And in China, it's quite different than in the UK, where we can see horses on the side of the road. Like we can see stables, sometimes even see outdoors with jumps in when they were driving on the motorway. So in China, you don't see that at all. You occasionally, it will be like a very rare thing for you to see some horses, but they will be like working horses. They'll be like having some actual job to do rather than being a riding horse. So my parents, they don't know horses at all. Like how I've come to know horses is simply by an opportunity of visiting tourist center. And they had horses where tourists can pop on and ride around in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my first proper meet with horses. And obviously I think a lot of horsey people here would know the film Spirit. So as a child, I watched that film and I very much fell into love with that film. So the first time I've seen actual horse, I thought they were spirit. Like they were like spirits family and like, when children's fairy tale and all that. And so I was very, very interested and I started taking riding lessons pretty much straight away. And it just didn't stop from there. Just, word by word, like you start riding at riding school and then people always talk about some other riding school. And then I wanted to explore and then again, and then here we are across the sea in United Kingdom.
Yeah. How long have you been doing pure dressage?
I'd say I've been doing pure dressage so now it's 2025. I would be 8 years. 8 years.
Okay. And before that, did you do a mixture of different equestrian sports?
Yes, I did. I did some Western, like going around the barrel stuff. And I did jumping because show jumping was and is still the majority part of riding in China. It's quite jumping. And then when I came here, I became more and more interested into dressage and jumping just faded.
But did you think that you were going to always do dressage, or did you think at the start that you might do eventing or show jumping?
I would say my interest in dressage has always been very firm.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in doing being a show jumper professionally or being an eventer professionally. I was very interested in being a professional dressage rider. Not saying I don't enjoy jumping or not enjoying jumping logs or going in the water, I still do with my dressage horses, but a dressage is what I love.
And can you say why you love it, or is it just one of those things? It's just a passion.
I have tried to explain this to a lot of people, including those Chinese people who are less horsey. I think it's such a detailed art. You're like you have your dance partner, but you can't talk to each other. So you have to guide and you have to communicate with each other with your body language or by your touch, your everything you do. Like they can hear you breathe, they can like hear the sound. It's especially like this couple years when I'm learning more and more about horse psychology. I think it's very, very fascinating and very precise the way you have to guide your horse. It's not just about achieving like a jump. There's actually like you calculate, like not calculate, calculate is the wrong word. You put the horse in the right mindset with like your own mindset, your body language, the things you tell them to do, but also the things you tell them not to do in the right way. And then you set it up for the jump, and then you like it's a lot bigger than just a jump. Then so like yeah, I really like for 45 minutes session of a dressage session. I can come home and I can feel I'm mentally quite tired because my brain is like whoa 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 like working like a big program.
Yeah, yeah. And I suppose it's aiming for that precision as well
Yes, yes.
all the
I was
time.
I get a lot of satisfaction when I reach that particular feeling about a particular moment when I'm doing a particular thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so that's yeah.
I
It's
suppose as well when you're in a movement and you've got the right feel and everything is going well in that certain movement, you've still got to think sort of about the next movement.
yes,
So your
definitely.
mind is kind of in two places.
Yes, it's all linked together. Say like a dressage test. I'm sure you know because you work with a lot of dressage riders and in riders in general. That in a test you can't just complete one movement and then think about the other one because the other one is already coming.
Yeah, yeah. That's what's
It's
so hard for the brain, isn't it? That you're controlling what you're doing at that particular time, but you've got to set up for the next one and maybe the next one and the next one as well. So
Well, that's what's so fulfilling because you're putting all you have, more than you have, into the sport, into that single moment. And then you have to put another like all you have into another moment. But they're split moment. But when it goes right, I feel like, oh, I'm over the cloud. I'm like, wow, that's just amazing.
yeah, yeah. I don't think I had many of those times when I did flat work and dressage, but I know what you mean. It's that floating, that in the zone feeling. It is gold, and it's really great. So, what brought you to England then?
Well, I was doing show jumping, I went up to a meter 10 in the competitions and stuff. And it was getting to a point where Chinese education was a little bit too much for me. They're all very, very competitive. And so we got a lot of homework, we got a lot of lessons, lectures, and we got a lot of just, it's just too much pressure for me. And I'm not that academic. I love riding, I love other sports. I just don't love study. Or I don't like to study by the textbook. So it was the time when my riding was a little bit going, I wouldn't say to the top of China because I wasn't. I would say I'm a bit more ambitious with my riding, and I'm a bit more like noticing the pressure from the study. So it was these 2 points together that made my family think about going abroad. And obviously, I all schools learn English, so England is the best spot. Otherwise, I have to learn another language,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
how long it takes. So, so that's the reason. And I'm very, very, very glad, and I feel extremely lucky for it to have worked out so well for me. Yeah.
Yeah. You seem perfectly at home in the UK and England now. It is your home. You seem very settled here.
Yeah. Now it was a long, long time. It was not easy for me to be settled here. While I came here, my dad came to drop me off at school, and then he went back to China. It was a good few years where I'd feel quite happy, and now get very lonely. Like especially after school, when I moved to Cheshire, and I'm training, and I come back home by myself. It was like quite a big up and down, quite a few big up and downs for me over the years. And but it wasn't until I was stuck in China because of COVID. I was stuck in China for 4 months, and that's the time. That's the time I realized actually I everything I have is in the UK. I miss my horses, and like I miss the training. I love learning dressage. Like I need to progress, and everything I have is in the UK. I am just stuck in China. I can't do anything. Like I'm just stuck in my life. So that's when I fully embrace myself being in UK, and I fully like this is my home.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I know you just mentioned your horses, and I know you have a very deep love for your horses. There's a unique bond with each different horse. Can you tell us a bit about your horses?
Yes. So I would say the first thing I would love to tell you is all my horses have animal names as their Chinese names, and they all match to their personality. So my first proper like dressage horse called Foxy. He is called Fox in China, and he's quite. I mean, he was a perfect schoolmaster for me, but he would be like a fox. If you don't pay attention, he's going to test you out.
Mm.
And he has his own mind, and he's not one of those cuddly horses. He sometimes will come and cuddle, but sometimes you go to him, he'll just be independent.
Yeah.
So I thought, so his Chinese name was a fox, and it was very easy for me to explain to my Chinese friends about his personality, just like a fox. There's another one that's significant to my career is Ronnie, which is called, which his Chinese name is Siamese cat. He's, I think is very, very, very fitting for him. He is very tall, he's very narrow, very long legs, very timid.
Yeah.
He's very soft, like his actual body and his fur. No, actually, fur is very unprofessional. His coat is very soft, and he likes to lick you. He just like, so it really worked. And then my in Grand Prix schoolmaster, which he taught me everything about Grand Prix, is Alfie. He has a Chinese name of Corgi. And why Corgi? Because he have a very long back, very big barrel of a body, got short legs, have a very big butt,
I love
very
it.
happy, and he loves zoomies when you're riding him. And he shoot out doing like hunting around, shoot out like a corgi, just flat out, not doing anything naughty, just he's just happy. So it's no, so it's very It's very, I know I love finding the a name that's fitting for their personality, and I love like say naming Alfie Corgi because for less horsey people, I think Corgi is a vibrant picture to the
Yeah.
personality of the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. That's so cool. That's
Mhm.
excellent. Because I can imagine these horses now with the different names. That's brilliant. Love it. Love it. And something that I really like about you on social media
Yeah.
is that you don't only show yourself riding. I mean, there are pictures and videos of you riding, which are lovely, really delightful. But you also show other parts of your life as a rider, like the physical training, and you train quite hard physically, don't you?
Mhm. Yeah, I would say it's a crucial part of me being um improving in dressage because I'm quite tall, lean, and wobbly. That's what I'd say as myself. So for me, it's always been quite very hard to be strong on a horse. I I have to really train myself to like the gym, which I find it very hard time to. I wasn't a gym person at all. Um, but it does make a very big difference. It does like transformative difference to my riding when I stronger and I'm less wobbly, so then I can support the horse's balance better. I can guide the horses with more control rather than myself being like yeah. So it's very important. I would say there's some people that are naturally strong, and I would say like some people are naturally strong. However, there's a weakness to every body type. So like a boxer would need to be more stretchy, and I would be need to be stronger. And a dancer probably need to be not sure what dancer need to be. They seem to just be perfect, but
Yeah,
anyway,
they're very strong, very lean, and very supple.
yes, yeah.
And I mean, outside of riding, you do all kinds of things. And we were just saying before we started recording, how do you have the time? But because you're interested in art and videos, films, and you've got your little dog as well. So how do you fit it all in?
So it's quite interesting. So before I got into dressage this much, I was only having two horses at the yard. So there was plenty of time for me to do something else. And I really need to do something else as a young person because it keeps my day structured. So that's when I did a lot of drawing and I did some commission for people, which I really enjoyed. And I'll say as my career took off a little bit, I found it more difficult, but I think it's very important for me to have other interests outside riding. I think it inspires me a lot. Say when I don't watch films that often, but when I do and I do watch a very good film, the inspiration I get from certain character or characters, they they like say they're really strong and they really persistent, I should say. That can transform me and help me into riding. Or I like shooting videos and I go and I find some very beautiful angles of somebody riding a horse, and I think that really fulfills my mental and I think it helps my mindset
Yeah.
and having an eye to see different stuff, like to have different perspective rather than just riding. I think it really helps me. And of course, some days I'm really busy and I don't have time, or I just rotate really. I just, pick one thing,
Yeah.
or day I feel like climbing. Sometimes I go rock climbing. So yeah, I think it's very important to keep my life varied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, really balanced. And you've got the creative, you've got the physical, you've got the mental. There's lots of different aspects to the different things
Mm,
that you do.
yes.
Now, you're going to have to tell us about that picture behind you because it's so fascinating. First of all, can you describe it? Because some people just listen to the podcast, they don't watch it. So, what is it and what's it going to be used for?
So it is a very stunning drawing that me and an artist, illustrator designed together. It is a dragon flowing in the shape of zhong, which means zhong in China. It's part of China. So it's China is actually formed by two Chinese characters, 中国. So zhong is how the dragon is flowing in the shape of. So it signifies China. However, zhong also has the meaning of neutral and central. So I think it really, what's that word again? Like I really feel the central and neutral. I feel those two words are very important for my life and for what I want to send the message to my future client, future customers too.
Yeah.
And so this dragon has got you can see some plant shaped, how do you say it? Plant shaped, no, plant shapes. Plant shapes are by the neck. That's a plant called Lunaria annua. That's a type of plant that's very elegant. It's the dried flowers are always used in wedding because they are very, very beautiful itself, and also it signifies a lot of good qualities like honesty, sincere, and wish you good fortune, like a good wish kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I think it's really, that's what I want for
Yeah.
for this first brand of mine to be, and for everybody associated with it be. And I think the drawing itself is very, very good. I think the two things come together very well.
Mm.
And the flow it's not over the top, but when you look at it, you can keep looking at it. And then
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You see something different, don't you? Because
Yes.
I've been looking at it as you were talking about it. And those little plants, I don't know if you know the English word. The English word for that plant is honesty. So it's the same thing in China and England, the representation. Yeah.
Yes.
But like you say, the more you look at the design, the more you think, oh, there's
Yes.
I noticed this and I've noticed that. It's really beautiful. And of course, this is going to be the design for your brand, isn't it?
Yes. This is one of the main designs.
Okay.
So I'm actually creating my own brand because uh, obviously I'm a writer and I want my breeches to be something more than a pair of plain breeches. So I want to put the cultural element into it, and I want to put the embroidery element, which is part of culture and traditions. I think it's very writing itself. It does have a long history in any country, I guess, and very rich and loved. So I think as a Chinese myself, I need to actually contribute to this industry in a sense of showing people that, say, this piece of dragon shows you a part of Chinese culture.
Yeah.
It's not words about what Chinese culture is, but it shows you the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And I want to do the same on the breeches. I want people to see, both Chinese people and non-Chinese people, to see that our embroidery is beautiful, and this piece of artworks come from China. So I think that's two very important message I want to see. And I also, in this process, I want to bring out the identity of whoever is wearing it. When I'm wearing it with a dragon, I feel better.
It's very symbolic, isn't it? You can feel
Yes,
the
it's
strength
very,
of it, and yeah,
yes,
it's
yeah,
very, because the dragon is obviously a very powerful animal. That
yes,
feel that power, you feel, and yet he's all kind of curled up, so he's not ready to fight or anything. He's just showing his beauty.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's a good description you got.
So this design is going to be on breeches, but at the moment, if anybody wants them, they just contact you. They're not available widely at the moment.
And I'm going to build it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what color will the dragon be on the white
Um,
breeches?
so on the white breeches, the dragon will be white,
Yeah.
just to keep on the theme of, you know, actually, I have samples I wear it myself to competitions. Most people don't notice the dragon, which is, is a fact I love because I don't want anything over the top. And I love it when people come close and talk to me. They actually see, oh my God, there's a dragon on your breeches.
Yeah.
Usually don't
Yeah.
have this. And then they look closely, and then, it's a very, I think it's a very, very good quality for it. Like, we never want to be arrogant. We don't want to be arrogant people. We want to be fulfilled ourselves, which meaning the details in the dragon, and and we we don't shout out loud, do we? I think it really signifies, resembles who I am.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And I think the white on the white would just, like you say, it's very understated, but it's there. And
Yeah.
the rider, or if you're wearing it, you know it's there, and you know the significance, which I like all of that. That's great for your mind, isn't it? And we were, just before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about mindset and so on. So have you ever had to deal with nerves or anything like that when you were riding?
To do a lot of things, which was most competition riders. I have had my good few years of crying after competition, regardless whether I've had good results or not good results, just because I'm not satisfied with what I've done in the ring. So I have we have actually had a few sessions together teaching me the tools I use in these moments, and that really helps me. Having a, like, it's not even about what tools you're using, it's about knowing there's a way that you can redirect those nerves, knowing there's an exit to whatever you're feeling. I think it's also keeps my mind open as well. So when I feel any emotions, when I feel happy, I know that I don't have to stay happy, or when I'm angry, I don't have to stay angry. I have a choice.
Mm.
So I think it's important for every rider to know that, because our emotions heavily affect the horse, and we never want to treat the horse wrongly.
Yeah.
Like, not like we'll never abuse the horse, but we never want to say, like, tell them to do tell them in a wrong way to do something, and then of course they'll make mistake, but then when they make a mistake because of us, we then get mad at ourselves or get mad at them, and start getting very upset. I think it's not healthy. So
Yeah,
so having these tools are very important, whatever tools you have.
absolutely. Absolutely. So when you're training your horses, when you're at home, and I mean, you mentioned that things go wrong. Obviously, they do. We're only human and they're only horses, and not to get frustrated or anything negative. What do you have a favorite tool that you use in those moments? I mean, do you regulate your breathing, or do you do visualization, or do you do something else?
What happens? Well, what I do now, I think of everything much in a much more logic way. If something is not going right, there must be a reason.
Yeah.
Like, so I stop and I have a walk around on the horse. I think about the reason and I try again and I will try again and I will try again. If it doesn't work, fine. Then day after, I can go to my trainer, have a lesson, I'll work on this particular issue. So now I don't really get frustrated. I just focus finding the reason.
Yeah.
I would say before when I was a little bit frustrated, I remember the knuckle exercise where
Oh,
you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
to link my knuckle to something significant, like to a significant emotion, or like to that when I touch it, I feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's a very good way to get my focus back when I'm lost in the upsetness or frustrate or whatever. I think it's very good. And then I have a walk and I have a think. I look at the trees, I look at the skies, and I'm like, okay. So I think that's one of the main big things I did. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
Fabulous. I love that. I love that you take it away from the emotions and you make it logical and you decide, well, this is a puzzle, if you like, not a problem, but a puzzle, and I need to solve the puzzle. And I love that you said that you have a go and then you have another go and you have another go, and and at no point do you start to get more and more emotional. You're just thinking, okay, that didn't work, that didn't work, and then you go and see your trainer, and it's a very nice process, isn't it, where you're working through it with your logic rather than with your emotions. And I'm sure the horses appreciate that so much.
No.
So I know that this year and next year is really busy for you for big championships. So what's coming up for you in the future?
So at the end of this year, in November, I've actually got two championships very close together, 2 weeks apart. Is the Chinese national game in China, which I'll fly my horseback. And there's another one in Thailand, is the Asian Championship. I will of course fly another one of my horse there. So they are quite a lot of organizing to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so and leading to the qualification and everything. And next year we have the Asian Games, which is a big one for all the Asian riders. It's like an Asian Olympic. And I personally, I also have the World Championship inside, and I hope to qualify for. So I'm going to work very hard on that and get myself qualified and be the first Chinese dressage rider to be in a World Championship.
Yay! Oh, I will follow you with interest. Absolutely. And the absolute best of luck for all those big competitions. So if people want to follow you, they want to know more about your brand and your riding and your horses, where can they find you on social media?
So I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Those two are my main profiles.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm the Chinese dressage girl because I would say I'm one of the first dressage girl come to come abroad to train purely in dressage.
Yeah.
So I had the Chinese dressage girl. I thought it's quite good, quite rememberable.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's I'm also on TikTok, but not it's not so active because I'm leading up to a championship. I'm more focused, just doing a little bit less content, but a little bit more behind the scene work.
Okay. And I'm so excited for you for this new brand and this clothing brand that you're setting up. I think that will be tremendous. Thanks ever so much, Sarah. That has been so fascinating to learn a bit more about you and also how you're still interweaving Chinese elements into your life.
Thank you very much. And it's been very nice to talk